Good morning guys, it's now the 15th of March and we are ready to leave this marina at Marina di Ragusa in Sicily. It's a beautiful morning this morning, there's a little breeze blowing in the right direction because we are heading south of the mainland of Italy. It will be a trip of 4 or 5 days to reach our temporary stop in Galipoli, and yeah, everything looks nice. The wind is gonna be a little bit variable, but yeah, we'll see it day by day because on the map it changes every 12 hours. But I think we're ready to go. Time to start the summer. Marina di Ragusa, this is sailing vessel Missy, over.
This is Marina di Ragusa, go ahead.
Yes, good morning. We are ready to leave the marina. Is it possible to have some assistance, please?
Sure, sir. Just a second, I'll send someone over. Thank you for staying with us.
Even though it wasn't our first trip of the season, I still felt excited to cast off. And we have left the marina. I was really looking forward to getting back on the road and discovering new places. Smooth sailing. All the sails are up and we're doing 4.5 knots speed over ground with 11 knots of true wind, so it's nice. You have to go 35 nautical miles, so it's gonna take all day, but that's fine by me. Good morning. We are at the anchorage of Torano. Yesterday evening when we entered this bay, we had a smell of I don't know just what, it smelled like burnt rubber or something, and I thought it came from shore, but when I dropped the anchor I smelled nothing outside, so I checked the engine room and the smell was coming from there. So I just cleaned the raw water filter of the engine. There were a little bit of shells in and some sand, but nothing important. But I cleaned it anyway because I thought maybe there's an issue with the cooling. But however, the engine didn't give any warnings yesterday evening, and the temperature of the engine was okay. I felt on the tubes where the raw water flew through, and that was also cold, so I have no clue what was happening. But to be sure, I'm afraid I have to go into the water and check the prop if there is no rope or nets or anything wrapped on, and maybe that's why the engine make that smell. I have no idea, but I want to check it before we go further. Only problem is the water temperature is only 18.4 degrees, so that's doable, but that's definitely not warm. But yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a quick dive. And so said, so done. I went into the cold water to check the propeller. It turned out there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. We just left the anchorage and we are now heading for Siragusa. I'm running on engine, but at low RPM because I'm just testing things out. There was coming some smoke out of the exhaust system somewhere. I couldn't see exactly where, but I fastened the bolts of the exhaust, and the problem seems to be solved. But there's still a lot of smoke hanging inside of the boat. But I have the impression that there is no smoke coming out of the exhaust system anymore. So fingers crossed. In the meantime, we're almost at our anchorage in Siragusa. And there's a large bay nearby Siragusa where you may anchor, but you have to ask permission first at the harbor office. Siragusa, this is sailing vessel Missy, over. So we have permission.
Yeah, that's
They had to know everything. How many people on board? Where are you from? What was your previous port? What's gonna be your next port? Yeah, he was very interested in us. We had a lovely sail, not too much speed because there wasn't much wind, but it was a nice smooth sailing. I even was able to bake some bread in the meantime, so that's already nice for tomorrow morning. 7 minutes to go. We're heading to Siragusa. We just have spoken to these nice people on the white sailing vessel over there, just to ask where we can leave the dinghy and if there is some place where we can buy fresh fruit and vegetable. And there is a public market today until 1 o'clock in Santa Lucia. It's 15 minutes walk, so we take this opportunity to stretch our legs for a bit and throw away our garbage and maybe buy some fresh fruit for the next couple of days. It's a big market. Since we had already visited Siragusa, after shopping we went straight back to the boat to relax a bit. And we are well stocked from the market. The next day a long trip awaited us. We still had a few hundred miles to go to Galipoli. And we're off to Galipoli.
Oh, it's Galipoli?
Yeah,
okay.
not directly, first an anchorage. The final goal is Gallipoli.
Okay.
It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I was watching on AIS if I could see any ships who were nearby, because I saw 3 ships on my port side, but they didn't show up on AIS. So I thought it were fishermen, because they usually don't turn on their AIS. But a few minutes later I got a call on my VHF radio that it was a NATO warship and if they could ask me some questions. They asked me if I would have a lookout for some strange maneuvers or strange things that happen at sea, and if I saw something I must report it at the NATO warship base. It was quite impressive. As you can see, this one is just a cargo ship, but the NATO guys are somewhere around here, and that's completely blank. Nothing else exciting happened that day. We were treated to another beautiful sunset before we quietly drifted off into the night. Change of plans.
Change of plans, yes.
We are not going to El Castillo because after running on engine for several hours, the wind picked up, but right on the nose. So I'm not gonna beat against 20 knots of wind another 10 hours. So I decided to make a left turn, and we're going to, what's the name?
Sevarato.
Sevarato. It's not the perfect spot, but yeah, it will do. Hopefully we're not having too much swell this night. Fingers crossed.
The next morning we went out to take a look. Sevarato is located in the province of Catanzaro at the very tip of the Gulf of Squillace. This town is divided into three parts: the coastal part, the mountain part, and the highest part, or called Sevarato Vecchia, which means the old part.
What a glorious, beautiful day today. So we take this opportunity to go on shore and have a look at this town. There should be a few supermarkets, so we are picking up a bit of grocery just to have a purpose to go on shore. So let's have a look.
We didn't find Sevarato particularly special. There's an archaeological park, and according to reviews, the museum is worth a visit.
Looks a bit deserted, or is it because it's midday?
I do think it would be wonderful to spend time on the beach and in the crystal clear water in the summer.
So guys, today we are sailing to Le Castella. It's just across the bay of Savarotte, and it's on the south tip of Calabria here in Italy. We have perfect weather conditions, wind coming on the beam or a little bit more backwards, but nice sailing. It's a trip of 25 nautical miles, so we left at 11, and so we will be there around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. In the meantime, I'm baking bread on the cockpit floor, and Karen is preparing lunch. Looks nice. At the last moment we decided to change our anchorage for the night because the swell was coming from the southwest, and El Castello would have been a bad anchorage. There was a swell of 0.7 meters, and that's really not comfortable. So I sailed on a few miles further around the corner, and here we are near a beach, and we are protected behind a piece of headland, and everything looks fine. We have 10-15 knots of wind, but almost no swell, so perfect for the night. Today we're heading in the direction of Crotone, but we're gonna anchor a few miles before the marina and probably go into the marina tomorrow. Weather looks very nice today. We have 10 knots of wind, but it's coming from the north, so we should have to do a few tacks. But normally this afternoon the wind will shift, and we're gonna have wind from behind, so just have to wait a couple of hours. Almost at our anchorage nearby Crotone. We managed to do this trip of only 13.5 nautical miles in 6 hours and a half. So you can imagine there wasn't much wind. First we made a few tacks, and normally the wind should shift and come from behind, And it did, but it also dropped. Instead of the promised 13 to 15 knots, we only had 5 until 7. And our Missy is not doing well with these kind of numbers, and certainly when the wind is coming from behind.
It is said that sailing is the most expensive and slowest way to travel from point A to point B, and right now it is certainly true, but we will get there eventually.
Almost in the harbor of Crotone.
We are still at the marina of Crotone after 4 days. It wasn't the plan. Normally we would have left after 2 days here in the marina, but we got some pretty nasty weather. Lots of wind up until the 35 knots and coming from the west. It should have been nice with wind from behind, but on the other side of this gulf we would have been on lee shore, so that's not a good idea. There is an anchorage at Galipoli, but we don't have any protection over there, and there is a free dock, but we are not sure if we can go in. We have to ask at the Coast Guard if we can use this spot, and we're not sure of that, so we didn't take the risk, and we just stayed here for 4 days. Normally tomorrow the wind will be lighter, and first plan is to go up a little bit more north. There's an anchorage just around a small cape where we should have some protection from winds coming from the south, and then on Saturday we are planning to cross the Gulf and go to Gallipoli.
We weren't the only ones waiting for lighter weather. Alex, a solo sailor heading to Montenegro with his dog, wanted to leave during the night because the least wind was forecast for that night. We agreed I would contact him the next day to make sure he had arrived safely.
Okay, Alex, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you. See you at some time.
Yeah.
Keep in touch. I will send you tomorrow a message. People will know you'll be okay.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
And he's off into the night.
And the next morning it was our turn to cast the lines.
After 5 hours, almost at our anchorage. Our anchorage is here, and this is Punta Alicia, and we just have to go around the corner and we are there. We should have a very quiet night because the wind is coming from the south, and this area should be well protected. That's the lighthouse at the tip of Punta Alicia that I just have shown you on the map. Good morning, already on our way to Galipoli. We have already 20 knots of wind, so we'll be there very soon. At least it's still 56 nautical miles, so it will take around 10 hours, but with this wind we are not going to use our engine today.
The further we got out in the open sea, the harder the wind picked up and the rougher it got. one advantage, we were going really fast.
So, just 1 more hour to go and we are already there. I think we're gonna have a new record. 56 nautical miles in about 8 hours and a half, so that's really fast for our Missy. But it was quite challenging because we had gusts of maximum 32 knots that I have seen, and we have done that before, but when the wind comes from open sea and comes right into such a gulf as this, then you get nasty seas, and that's what we have got. But overall our Missy did very well, but I will be pleased that I can drop the anchor. And we have arrived, but what a difference! We still have a bit of wind, 15 knots here at the anchorage, but flat seas, so I'm happy. So, time for a nice cold Belgian beer. Ching!
Next time at Sailing Missy. Upon arrival in Galipoli, updating the outboard's motor battery turns out to be an adventure in itself. But after this, nothing stands in our way of sailing to our beloved Greece, where Karin has a big surprise waiting for her. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know you had to wait a long time, but I've been very busy with projects both at home and on the boat. If you can understand this, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to see your comments. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!